You know, people don't like to be manipulated. A lot of marital strife. Don't manipulate me. Don't you do that. Not me. It's a point. What do you want from me? You're a manipulator. She's a manipulator. He's a manipulator. Who do you think you are? You're starting up with me? I'm a great guy. Now, I don't want to tell you, I'm not advising the Olam to go this way. But I've seen people that didn't mind the whole business. Go manipulate. Chaim Halper once told me, if they're going to fool you, let them fool you. They're fooling you. You know, when I see people are trying to pull something on me, I let them know, you think I'm so stupid? Or you think I'm a nobody? But Reb Chaim Halper told me, let them fool you. So what? It's all covered. So they fooled me. So they're manipulating. My spouse is a master manipulator. She's got me wrapped around her finger. I know myself with a guy that they mentioned that his wife has got him. He was a very, very chashuv person, a famous big name in Klal Yisrael. And so his wife decided on something that he went along with it. And it was a major move. And somebody made a remark. Aha! We see the bosses around. And he turned colors. Now, Novandigas wouldn't turn colors. Oh, so she's boss. Oh. So she's boss. What's this? So let her be boss. What's this? Thank yous? What's going on here? Oh, the love of it. What's this? That's so nice. What is it? What's going on here?
He wants Rabbi Amari to say thank you to him.
Thank you to what?
Thank you to
Oh, he's a megit. I'm supposed to figure it. Thank you! Karas Taiva! So, Ma'ibiyika, Rabbi Yosef Yafi, with his patience and his expertise and his... He's the man. He's the man for the most valuable player. Rabbi Yosef Yafi, Hashem should bless him together with everybody sitting here. Amen. All holy Jews. The best of Klal Yisrael is here. And I'm including you guys that I would see. Pleasure to see you. Come inside, make yourself comfortable. Everyone's, around here, we're all the same. It's all the same baloney. Now we're all the same Gedolei Yisrael. But they want to manipulate me. Of course, come manipulate the Rebbe. I want to thank you for Torah anytime. Thank you for Torah anytime. Thank you for Kavash Gacham Pratis. Thank you for Kol Lashon. The room that's thank the Rabbeinu Shalom Shanemo. The room that's they used to manipulate him. You know that? There was a whole tumult. Who's going to get the Rebbe? Because the guy that comes out ahead is the Gabbai. I heard there's rumors with me too. They want to make big bucks out of me. What a waste. This guy's worth money. All his brachas come true. I had one after another, big mifsim. I remember the kids, this guy stopped having convulsions, Baruch Hashem. I gave a bracha, and the doctor just checked him out. And he's fine. Another guy stopped. He's in a coma. And after my bracha, he's starting to move. They're seeing signs of improvement. The doctors, I'm a big Baal Mifis over here. So they're fighting over me, the Gabayim. Anyway, here's a true story. I heard it anyway. That's right. Rimnitza was an Isha Shalom. We let them do whatever they wanted. And there was a fight, who's getting the Rebbe. And the Shmuah goes, they kidnapped him. There was a car waiting outside. Rebbe, you're coming with us. We need the money. And the other guy, boy, what are you doing? He's ours, you know. The shal is who owns the Rebbe. Since when does the Rebbe have a say? You make your mifsim. We'll take care. You can make the mifsim up. We own you. We're getting the money. before anyone sees the Rebbe never sees the money. I told you what there was in the newspapers. Somebody wrote in the newspapers. Gabbai, looking for Rebbe, 50-50. Chaim Taimelu Shalom Baruch Hallelujah. Elohim Al-Cholam Shakel Midvari. Jack is in business. Everybody by me drinks Jack. For Elo, you got to drink 2 Jacks. Juba. Jack is Baledic. Only drink one of me. Get moving. You know how much thankfulness you need to give the Eibishter? You got to thank your head off for all your things that are not working. Those are your finest moments when things are working. Our big Shagets, he was the premier of England. Saying, when things went bad in World War II, he said, this is our finest moment. Where did he get that from? I don't know. They say he had American Indian roots. There's Shagets, I don't want to say his name. What? The Alta. So these are our finest moments. There's no yish. No yish allowed. Yish alemadas, they said in Nevada. Anyway, someone's manipulating you, it's fine. You could manipulate me. I heard from Rebbe Rabbeisa. But I'm a shmata. So be a shmata. What's wrong with that? I'm officially a shmata. What's wrong? Now learn Shara Kniya, and it won't bother you. The reason why people don't like, people are impatient, learn Shara Kniya. B'machniya. To the red light, to your Rebbitzin, to the kids being a little bit like this, to the whatever it is, b'machniya. Achna. In Novandik they held Achna. As much as they held from Bטחון, they held Achna. Welcome, welcome. All the good people have arrived. Come inside. Jack's waiting for you. He wants to be. Anyway, you know why I eat? Because I want to be masakin all those neshamas. I'm a very, it's a maisa with Tehillah Yerishina. It's not a joke. Tehillah Yerishina was once eating cherries off a tree, cherry tree. And he ate, and he ate, and he ate, and he ate. I'm original. He didn't stop eating until he couldn't go weiter. And he started crying, and he asked Mechila the leftover cherries. Sorry, I can't eat you. You know that? They say the Rimmitzer took whole fish. They looked like they were dead, but they were whole. And he says, I'm not eating you yet. You're not ready for that. He knew who they were. That's what they say. It's possible. So anyway, don't be afraid, let them manipulate you. So what? What do you care? There is a time and place to be assertive. And there was a time and place not to care. There was a big Rosh Yeshiva in Hebron. I won't say his name. I heard it from one of his Talmidim. That they say his wife had him wrapped around her finger. She wiped the floor with him. She let him have it. And he gave in. Every move he made, she had to be on top of it. She was watching him. No, go this way. Oh, thank you. No, you're going that way. Oh, thank you. No, I think we got to do things like this. And he went along with the whole business. He was Slabodka. This is not Novandik. Slabodka also knew about b'machniya. With all their godless Adam. They knew you got to be machniya. So what? So she lived a beautiful life. And she thought she had, but he really came out ahead because he worked on his midas. Then when his Talmidim came late for the Shia, he destroyed them. He wasn't a pushover at all. It's brought down as from Makdishim. The midah b'achna is especially for the house. Isn't that interesting? You would think that you got to be that's also true. You got to be in charge. But yeah, you got to learn how to be machniya. You know what they told me in Novandik? You want to raise your kids? Teach them with your own midas. Shlomo Freifel once gave such a shmooze. You want to be mechanech? let's see how you act. That's the best chinuch. Now, Novandik, boy, did they hold from that. You can't control your temper. You want him to control whatever he's doing. So anyway, so they believe being a Bamachno. Now, I spoke to a big Novandik. I spoke to one of these big Novandik sons, who himself was a big Ovid, and the father was telling me how you got to be a piece of dirt even in front of your kids. Go ask them Mechila. And the kids who are super big Ovid Hashem, in fact, I called some of them just before, and they said, not for you. Don't you do that. Maybe my father used to do it. Don't you do that. You got to start asking Mechila. Rav Golinsky once told somebody, a big person used to ask Mechila from his kids all the time. And Rav Golinsky told a friend of mine, let him do it. You don't do it. People are different. Not everybody's ready to be a piece of mush. If by nature you're a whole piece of mush, it might be an Indian not to go that way. See, where Rav Hutner was very in his home. They tell a story, I don't know if it's true. As soon as he got married, he took the dishes and he started washing them. And as he washed them accidentally on purpose, he smashed the dish. And he told his wife, something tells me I'm not cut out for this. And that was the end. From now on, it's your job, lady. You're going to make me Mr. Good Husband? Not ready for that. You'll be a nice wife. It's your job. Everybody has his mahalach. There's stories of tzaddikim where they used to help. And Meiser of Chatzkel, someone had tinus on his wife. Whatever, she's not this, not that. And she's a nervous wreck. So he told him, I have an eighth of you. Take a broom, Erev Shabbos, and help her out. Then you'll have a good wife. You're a little nicer to her. But different mahalachim, different people, depends what the matzah is. Be machniya to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I have a person who has been calling me forever. And he is stressed till Shemayim. He's really bad. He's a bundle of nerves. And he called me recently. I said, you know what you do? Next time you're stressed, say, thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for that stress. Panic attacks? I love panic attacks. Say it. You know what he told me? He called me up. It's doing wonders for him. Accept it. Accept those panic attacks. Now, he tells me another thing. But now I go around all day worried about I might get a panic attack soon. Even though it disappeared, because I'm learning how to get along with those panic attacks. You know what kills? The whole thing is fighting. When you fight a situation, you're dead. We have a bunch of sweet kids over there. Wow. Thanks for coming, kids. You know, kids, forget about it. What do you bring the top for? The schar is you enjoy life when there's kids around. It adds color. Aren't kids great? Hashem created the world with little babalach all over the place. You come into shul, it was little sweeties. Unbelievable. Avish that makes them sweet and cute. He's so wonderful, Hashem. It's so nice. Created little kids. By me, you understand that any guy less than 60 is also a cute kid in my books. You know who I am. I'm ahead of all of you. I'm against the Zucken. You know when people stand up for me, you know what I say? You go like this, oh, he's coming out. They see me, all stand up. You know what I tell them? I say, I know, you're not standing up because of my age. No. That doesn't do much for me, you know. I know the real reason. Because I'm a great guy. Because I'm a chacham. I know the real reason. Because you hold from me. That's the real reason. It's not because of my age. No. I know the real reason. I don't know if he knows. But I already posted. I come out better like that. So I stick with whatever makes me happy. I'm not interested in asking what's really happening. Just like what I spoke in this camp. Before I left the camp, I spoke all Shabbos. I was busy. In fact, they said, okay, now you got a break, but soon we're going to speak for those guys. These guys, the little guys, the little big guys, all Shabbos, they had me running upstairs, downstairs. Now you're speaking here, now you're speaking there. Before I left, I made my last speech, and I said, Rabbi Shai, I am so happy. I did such a beautiful job. It's unbelievable. I was a great speaker. I was gewaldig. And I'm not going to bother asking anybody what their opinion is. My opinion is what counts around here. So I hold I did a good speech. And I'll tell you why. Because let's say you liked it, you didn't like it. If you liked it, fine. You didn't like it, then I'm putting Tzaira Agra. I still liked it. He says, I'm trying. If I try and it doesn't work, I'm even bigger. I'm 100 times more schar if I mess up on a speech. You can't go wrong with the Eibishter, you don't go wrong. And I serve Hashem. I serve you guys. Watch you move. How many people know how to give unconditional love? If you behave, they like you. You don't behave, they don't like you. You know how many times kids, you know what the problem with kids is? Kids are covered. They're not behaving, and everybody sees. This is, oh, I love this. When they're coming for the Seder, and Zaidi is there, that's me. Or Elta Zayda, they're all coming in, and the mothers, and the kids, the bubbies, and you show off to Zaidi, what a nice kid you are. And right in front of Zaidi, there's Third World War broke out. And two bandit, one Anikel who just got kicked out of school yesterday. I'm joking. Hey, thank you, Reb Subcha, you're the man of the hour. So he just they just kill each other, right? And the daughter and the son-in-law and this one, they're turning blue, they're turning red. We were trying so hard. We were telling Zaidi how good you are. You're the best boy in the class. You know, Zaidis you lie to. You don't tell the truth to them. So now Zaidi sees how you're acting up. In the middle of the Seder, decided to fight with Gitti. Now listen to this. On my side, listen to this story. It's a fresh off the press. It just happened 2 weeks ago. I was a Rebbe in a summer camp. And I told the kids like this, look, I'm saying goodbye to you guys. I have bars of chocolate like this. You see me, I'm big into that. You learn, you get chocolate. You get in touch with me, I give bars of chocolate. You learn extra, speak to your parents, chocolate. Well, one other thing. Daven for the person you can't stand. You know what I'm talking about. Your sister, your brother, the big one, the little one. Sometimes the mother and the father, sometimes all of the above. Kids have their issues, you know. I want you to daven for the person you can't stand. I had to do it early in the week. And the next day I asked them, how many boys have found that person that you can't stand has suddenly become your best friend? Half the kids raised their hands. It's about 8 kids. All raised their hands. That person became my friend. Because I didn't say a word. Daven for the guy you can't stand. You want to bring Mashiach? You can do Torah. Okay. What do you do to be nitzel for Chavli Mashiach? Torah and Chesed. Okay, very good. But you want to bring Mashiach, you got to stop bringing Midas. Forget it. You know how many people out there are so good. And they daven, they learn, they do Chesed, but I'm great, except for that guy. I can't stand him. That's Kairach. Kairach had it all. He had Ruach HaKodesh. He didn't know how to learn. He wasn't a Baal Chesed. He wasn't a doctor. But But he just one problem with you. I don't do well with my ships. You is the number one issue. Get involved in Hatova, Makim Hakpada. Dafka, be good. Now, some people have a very, very fiery Yetzer Hara, and it hurts them. I have seen many, many people out there. I am so jealous, it's scary. Siras Chinam is scary. I just can't help it. I just can't stand that guy. I can't look him in the face. I can't be Michael, that guy. You know which people talk like this? You'd be shocked. If they're not into Musa, Now listen to this. There's a Yid in Flatbush, laser freed. Come is the answer to my tefillas. I says, Eibishter, I want Novandik back, Bechol Toik from Adam. I want the real thing. How you gonna get it? Between you and me, I'm I know what I know. Maybe I talk to know much more, but still, if you bring back the real Novandik, it's a whole, especially the Bir Hamidas, to find out what's really making a person tick. They were very good in that. Mamish, right after I daven, Laser Freed pops up. He has 10 younger light coming to his vadim. They love him. They learn Musa an hour and a half. How do you get away with that? No, part half an hour. Musa, but he spends a long time with each person. He takes them apart and he gets to the point and the guy knows who he is for the first time in his life. You have no idea how chashuv that is. I'm a little bit into that. Knowing yourself, I'm into a lot of that stuff. Know who you are. It saves you from so much service. You know why you're all nervous? Because you're looking to be nervous. You've always been like that. Now it's this, now it's that, now blame me, right? Blame me. You have to have a problem. That's you. Things like that, Lamasha. When you know yourself, things don't bother you. Anyway, somebody came from Flatbush, took a special trip to see Laser Freed. What? What? I don't hear you. Laser Freed leaves in Muncie. Right. Oh yeah, he makes Flatbush to Muncie. Special trip. It's not an easy trip, but I told him go to Laser Freed because he's going to be starting his own Bir Hamidas. He spent a long time. He said he's been learning Musa 30 years, whatever. All that Musa ain't worth nothing compared to that 1 hour he spent with Laser Freed. Well, Laser Freed took him apart and showed him what the real problem is that he never knew. You know how many people spend a lifetime learning the wrong Musas for him? They envy, he's learning this, let's try that. Here's a guy finishing Shas. I got to do that. That was my problem. Wanted to finish Shas. When they wanted to see him at Shas's, or Shlomo Freifel was there, he knew me well. And he said, and I says, boy, I got to try that. And he's looking at me, he says, everyone's a little excited, I got to do a Shas. Shlomo Freifel told me, Yehuda, it's not for you. Don't you dare get near Shas. You want to kill yourself? You want to go copy someone else. Put yourself in a box that you don't belong in. The Eibishter is not interested in you doing what's not for you. Somebody told me, who was into somebody, Chafetz Chaim, into Sant. Chafetz Chaim Olam. I just got a call today. They are the sweetest, most lovely human beings. I'm madly in love with the Chafetz Chaim Chevra. They're very similar to the body because they're real Slobodka. And they tell me all they're about, day and night, breaking midas and zikr rabim. That's exactly what I'm all about. Between breaking midas and zikr, that's the main agenda. Anyway, they told me that I helped them a lot. What I help you guys do. It's interesting, that nakuda, that you have to do what you have to do. You have to be you, be you, be you. Stop being everyone else. It's killing you. You see everyone around you, you may need a total different mahalach. I heard on one of the Daily Yisrael, I will not say his name in public because, whatever. Gadol Shebek Doilim. They asked, how's he doing? Someone asked, was checking up on him. He said, well, he's wandering around the base medrash, schmoozing, not sitting normal with a chavrusa. And he doesn't learn that much, but that he's doing perfect because that's what he's supposed to be doing. I think it was the ultimate Slobodka who understood people. That's good for him. That's him. Don't be someone else. Look at him learning like this. That's not you. That's him. You're supposed to be a little more relaxed. Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky used to learn. He was heavily involved in Chumash and Tanakh. I used to find a god like him that he keeps getting involved in Psukim, Chumash, Tanakh. The Alter, they got involved in Maharals. The Alter knew each person. You go this way, you go that way. You go singing and dancing. That's for you. Whatever. Anyway, I once sent a younger man to Breslau. I paid for his ticket. And he became a Breslauer thanks to me. I created one new Breslauer. After creating a couple of thousand of articles, I decided, how about a Breslauer? I like them too. So he became I saved the guy's life. He came home. Till today, he's a new person. I sent the best of it. I got the money for him. It was $2,000, whatever, just for that trip to go to Uman, Rosh Hashanah. Went the best of it. He became a new person. The rest of us, that's for him. He's not. We're different people. Everybody's different. You go your way. Nobody has any right to tell anyone else. But there's so many people out there that if they only had the right hadracha, they'd be so happy. Don't imitate nobody. Imitation is suicide. Sometimes it's good to imitate, sometimes not. Depends. You gotta have a rebbe, daven your head off, and then the Eibush will help. Anyway, so he says, Rav David Blacha says that most people spend their life working on things that's not for them. Here comes Elul. Here comes Elul. You know what I recommend for Elul? Everybody's different. I gave somebody a meridika. The guy needs menucha. I says, he desperately needs it. I says, 1 minute a day, you're going to be a menucha. You're going to sit back at that red light and say, I like this. Do it for 30 days, you'll be a new person. Just 1 minute, the rest of the time, be that maniac American. You know, when she came to, what's her name, Ruchama Shane, the great Tzadikist, the daughter of J.J. Herman, all for the boss. When she came to the Mir Yeshiva, they all remarked, that man kind of late. All she does is run all day. An American person is jumpy. She looked so different to them because she was an American woman from New York, so that, where they walk in America? You ever see people walk? They don't even know where they're running anymore. Just, I got to go. Where do you go? Oh, I don't really know, but it doesn't pass for a guy like me to stay in one spot and relax. That's not part of the club. That's not what we're all about. Everybody's busy running all over. I'll tell you something. Don't make away with that. We have that generally. Not so simple. But anyway, today was the day. In Archus Chaim LaRosh, the Heilige Mashgiach, the Zayda, who was zeicha to have an Einik called Reb Aaron birthday. Zayda, Reb Nosson, Al Tevail Ma'asecho, don't beat the tumult. And Kelm, they were into Menucha, relax. I don't recommend too much of that stuff. You got it in mind. Get an American. You know the way they used to eat in Kelm? Slow motion. I want to see you do it. Slow motion. I heard they loved it. Kelm was Gan Eden Atachn. Kelm was Menucha. Rebata shows them a Refuah Shlema told me that's Bטחון. The Menucha that they made such a spiel about in Kelm was Bטחון. That's what he told me. Bטחון, every minute, I heard this in the Nובהרדוק too. Every second, the Eibush is in charge. Don't get stressed. Get into the habit. All the old Nובהרדוקers was slow motion. Someone comes over to me and tells me, Rabbi Mendel, it's a true story, I have some criticism to tell you. Come out of shul for a minute, please. And he told me about 5 times without exaggeration. Are you sure you can handle this? This guy was not a kid. This guy's a big, big, big name. He's a big somebody, not some. I hope you can handle this, Rabbi Mendel. But I do want to criticize you. And get ready. You sure? You sure? I said, go ahead. But you sure? Like, be prepared. You're not going to like it. You sure you can handle this one? It doesn't pass it. The Nובהרדוק should mind criticism. I'll let him go. Let's go. Let's hear. I'll have a ticket. I'm zeicha b'din, thanks to this guy's bezyenis that he's going to give me. Listen to this one. He says, Rabbi Mendel, I'm going to tell you something now. You're not what it used to be. Today, you're a big name all over Lakewood. Everybody knows about you. You're one of those guys, like they say, he made the yated. That's the official, I'm in the pictures all day. Like, they all know about me. You have your own shtibel. You have your own vad, the most chashuv vad in Lakewood. He meant you guys. And the guys listening, whatever. And you're this and you're that. He gave a whole drush of what I am. For someone like you, you got to be more careful what you do. And then he told, because you are a different class now. You're one of the big people today. You're not stunned. You have to be much careful every move you make. Watch out. People are watching you. They're going to be medayik. He did this, he did that. They make a whole period. They're going to write a sefer on Tzois V'Rachav of the Rebbe. The Rebbe's Hanhogas Ha'admor. Now, what was his meaning? What did he do? How did he conduct himself on this situation? And Purim, what was his meaning? And was his meaning in Aser Shemei Tshuva? You know, they're gonna pretty. By the way, I'm getting a little elaborating what he actually said. He didn't get that carried away, but he did. He said plenty. Anyway, so then he says, "Okay, now I'm going to tell you. You do kach v'kach." I'm not going to say what it is, and that's wrong. And people see it, and it's very wrong. And I want you to know, I've told someone else. I'm not afraid of anybody. And he told that someone else, I'm not going to say his name either, that someone else is probably the number one Adam Gadol Tzadik Yesod Olam of the entire America. He is a famous name. I just don't want to say it. If you know who it is, it's not Shaykh. The biggest of the big. So he said, don't worry, I told him off also. He does that. He did just like you, and I told him it's wrong and it's not right, and he agreed. That's the end of the story. Now, as soon as he told me that, I told him right away. I was expecting you to run. But between you and me, the only thing I heard was your hakdama to the criticism. That's all I heard. The rest, I didn't even hear it. I just kept, is it really true? I'm such a big guy, and everyone's always talking about me, and I'm so famous, and they're going to write books about me. That's all I heard. In fact, I appreciate, Yeah, but I was trying to tell you, I know. But the main point I got, I'm a great guy. Another compliment in my life, That's all I heard. I'm not interested. Okay, I'll be good. I don't want to be makabel myself, improve myself. But then, what really added a cherry on the pie was that he tells me that I'm guilty of the same chait of a person that's considered, all kidding aside, come out like the Rosh Kibahag, big time, Me and Rav Chaim Kanevsky have the same al chait situation, and I'm very happy. That's my chait. I'm like him, We have that level of sin. I felt like $1 million. So today I'm like on a high thanks to this guy. And that Agdama he gave me. Now please, you're not going to mind. It's a lot of criticism. Keep up, I want more of that stuff. Anyway, I do tell people, I say it myself, if you get a compliment, you know what the Commander Rebbe said? If you see something good up in the Yid, it's true. If you see something bad, it's a lie. Don't believe it. Check a machazah. What do you mean? But it's true. No. It's sheker. But it's sheker. But don't get complicated. It's sheker. You know that? You know that Rabbi Miller was the most famous for this type of stuff. I thrive off my lies. I'll live a lie for the rest of my life. Rabbi Miller? Did he ever admit that he did something wrong? No way. How come? What happened? You got to be humble. What happened? You know the way he walked? You know the way Rabbi Miller walked? Oh. He even gave a cold impression. I want to tell you something about being cold. Any chumash around here? It's okay. You know what's going on in this week's parasha? A lot of parashas. There's a chumash. No, there isn't. It's okay. You got one? Oh, thanks a million. You got to know what's going on in the chumash. When you see a mesis, al yedach levavchem, don't be soft. Don't be soft. Smash him one. No rachmanis. Al tachmol olav. Lo sechase olav. A lot of psukim. Be tough. And It's not only with a mesis and a meidiach, they both, the Torah wipes them out. And then, when you go to war, al yedach levavchem. And if you're one of those soft-hearted people, Rashi brings down, famous Gemara. There's a military police. You never see MP, military. We had that in the Jewish army. They had permission to go over to this soldier who's about to run away and chop off his foot or his hand. You know that? It's a din. Why? Because he's going to destroy the whole business. That's the punishment. You don't have bטחון in the Eibishter. You're not going. You're not allowed to be afraid. It's a sin. When somebody's afraid, he's in hot soup. But what kind of achzarius? I just want to tell you, this is so important. Achzarius has a makam all over the place. Most people don't steig because they don't have that side to them. What did Shalom Melech say? You know what Gershon used to say? Get up in the morning on Rachmanis. Let me sleep a little bit. No Rachmanis. A soldier has that no Rachmanis feeling about himself. No Rachmanis. On your Yetzer Hara, whatever it is, people give in. It's my wife's fault. Well, my wife, it's my wife. It's her. I'm really more. But my wife is, or the lady says, I'm really a better person, but my husband schlepped me along, and that's why I'm not, the way I should be. Well, people get messed up because of their soft side. You know that? I think Rav David Blacha said it. For your wife, you give anything, but if she's going to go against the Torah, now watch out what I'm going to say now. I hope the ladies, please, it's not for you. Ladies, please, turn me off, please. I'll be ready for you in a minute. It's not the ladies, but men only. You know what he said? If your wife goes against the Torah and does something that's going to mess you up in your Shemayim, let her fill the house with tears. Now, what I just said now is very dangerous. There's a lot of guys out there that are going to have a lot of shalom bayis problems because of what I said. There's a lot of guys out there that this is not for them at all. They got to learn to give in to their wives. That's right. Let her have what she wants. I just told this to somebody today. Give in, but she's this. She's that. Give in. Give in to your wife. What? You got to have a Rebbe who knows you and knows her. Because people, what I just said now, both are dangerous. To be nice could be dangerous. You can kill your olam haba with your wife. Because, well, my wife doesn't like it, you can kill everything. And you can kill your own olam haba. You kill your olam haba because you're too tough with her. You got to know. You need a Rebbe. But two extreme behaviors are negeya. You got to be doing the right thing. I want to tell you a ma'aseh that just happened this week. I got 2 phone calls, 2 Hasidish and Galite. 2 don't shaykhs with each other. They tried to get a kid into school, and the school said no. No way. We're not letting him in. It was come out, nothing to talk about. So they're just going to take one last, both 2 different punkt this week. So one said, Mandel said, just write, everything's going to be good. Write it. And the guy wrote, I see them now changing his mind, softening up, becoming nice, blah, blah, blah. Comes in the next day, and he says, maybe you want to give, oh yeah, I'm changing my mind. And he's already letting the kid in. 2 different stories, both had tremendous success with this mahalach. That's something. I once did this. I once had a very serious problem. Very serious. And I wrote down a whole drasha how I'm going to get what I want. And it came true. Somebody was messing around with me, and I wrote how he's having charata, and how he changed his mind, and how suddenly we're friends again. I wrote a whole drasha. Came true. Did it myself. See, it's very powerful. It's called bטחון. Write a whole drasha. I was just on the phone with somebody whom I helped them. Whenever he had a lot of trouble in his life, he needed to get married, and he wasn't getting married so fast. By the way, lately, the shadchan of the year is Reb Aaron Burstein. He's sitting right here. What he did, and I've been pushing these type of shidduchim. Very recently, the most impossible shidduchim just took place. And I'm on a campaign to doctor those things to happen. I'm davening for these things. You daven, watch what happens. Murder, just daven. Anyway, what was I saying? So this fellow needed a shidduch. He was divorced with a couple of kids. Issues, those shamayim. I helped him a lot. I built him up. I turned, whatever I did. Suddenly, he's remarried with the most amazing, unbelievable. What'd you do? I asked him, what'd you do? He spent time thinking positive thoughts. And he told me how he did. First start off with for 1 minute, just think positive. A few times a day again. Okay, now let's try 3 minutes on the clock, just positive. Now let's try 8 minutes. And he kept doing this. After a while, a full half hour of positive thoughts. You know what that does to you? I got $15,000 on Zeis Chanukah 2 years ago when I did that. When I was just at the beginning of Chanukah, I called him a kubel. How am I going to get my money? He says, do that. He says, think of anything positive. Come inside, come inside, make yourself at home. Thinking positive thoughts. Now the new year, the challenge of the new year is bטחון. If you're going to have bטחון, then you'll have a good year. You have to have lots of bטחון. Start thinking positive. Positive for the new year. There's a famous Chachma Shleima who says that it's all bטחון. Shana Tovi to go. Come inside, Rabbi say. Make yourself comfortable. Pleasure to meet these young gentlemen over here. Anyway. And the problem, what are we going to do with Elul? What are we going to do with Elul? And every day of Elul is Chodesh Kadoshim. Do you know what Reb Chatzkel says? It's an ocean of Rachmanis. Elul is an ocean of Rachmanis. Every dish, Karu b'yosei karov. Call him when he's close. Elul is the best thing in the world is an Elul. And it's the more thankfulness, the more thank for the previous year. When you tell thank you to the Eibush, you have soon Pasuk Yisava is coming up. Thankfulness. Somebody brought this here for me. If anybody wants, they could take. Now, thankfulness. The Eibush wants to see, were you happy with last year? You want to have a new good year? Show me that you're thankful with last year, and then I'll give you a new good year. And we'll hope that we'll have lots of bezyonis. There's nothing greater than some good bezyonis. Bezyonis is Gan Eden. Any kind of bezyonis will save you from all the worst tzaras. Bezyonis is mamish. It's a bracha and a shemayim. Somebody who has bezyonis, he's going to have mamish. Is Gan Eden. Not shaykh. I want to tell you something. I just did this. It might be Kedai. People should know this. Relationships. I did this many years ago. I had a husband and a wife, and just talk positive all day. Just go around saying thank you all day. Have a husband and a wife on the telephone, and there was a hatred going on between them that was ridiculous. I can't say what one of those parties said about the other one. It was mamish lahash b'lahari, the sinas mavis, and they called Mendel to straighten them out. I got them on the phone. I did this more than once. I got them on the phone, and they says, listen to me. Now, both of them were heavily involved in being negative. All she knew how to say was, he's a this or that or nobody. And he, come on, put him up on him. I says, you're both getting on the phone, and you're going to a monkey, just say positive stuff. He said positive about her for 10 minutes on the phone. And he got even a little excited. And she's this too. And that. I said, don't you dare say, okay, negatives, we'll get there. Erev Shabbos Bein HaShmoshes, we'll get all the negatives. But right now, just talk positive. I know it's a problem. Oh, what a terrible marriage. Just talk positive. Sunday, he spoke for 10 minutes, she spoke for 10 minutes. Monday, Tuesday, and I was like the guy in the middle who was making it geschmack. And see, and even this, and he got carried away, and she got carried away. They started getting creative, making up things. I don't know what they did there, but they were under pressure. I want to hear good stuff around here. Anyway, now I do recommend these people that they repeat. If they're out of loss of words, repeat the old stuff. And because I told this to a couple. I says, the Yitzhar that's telling you all day to be negative, repeats. You know how many times the Yitzhar keeps telling you, I'm no good. It's Chazorah going on. Mamish, if we would learn the way we Chazor our negative thoughts, we'd be Bekiyim and Kol HaTorah Kula. We know. So you got to counteract that. And you got to repeat those positive thoughts. Repeat them. For this particular couple, I don't think they needed any repeats. It was great. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By the time it was Thursday, they were crazy over each other. What did they do? There were so many issues. How did they suddenly get? The guy was, he was a problem. She was way too critical. She wasn't good for him. And he was very, very, very not whatever. They turned around. I've done this Kamapama. They turn around like crazy. Now I want to tell you, my mahalach is like this. You do the same thing with yourself. You want to have a new year, be positive. Then dip the apple in the honey. Be positive. Thank. Why is El the end of the year? Because you have a whole year to thank for. Why not the beginning of the year? Why isn't El the beginning of the year? Do tshuva? No. Tshuva means for gratitude. Even the Mesilas, the Shari tshuva. His whole religion is being thankful. But the Shalom also says it. I just saw Shari Tshuva recently. Someone just showed it to me. Says this thing, what's the Tshuva about? You did me so many favors, and I don't even, doesn't mean enough. Yet, but you have to say, verbalize it. You're alive, you're well, you have kids, and the so-and-so didn't start up with you for a change, and whatever it is. You're healthy and not in the hospital. Sit on that. Sit for a half hour. There's so many negative thoughts. Anyway, so what was I saying? So the end of the year, you can discuss a whole year of beautiful, positive stuff. Especially Pashas Yisabay comes. The Al-Shech HaKadosh says the reason why there's such a big taram in Bikurim, they make a parade. Because thankfulness is everything. Thankfulness is, you're going to be thankful for the last year, you're getting another year. You're going to go fetching, but I need this, I need that. So it's no good. Anyway. My prescription always is, I've told people to write down 100 positive things about yourself. I get phone calls. I have a Dayan in New York, a Chassidish Dayan, his whole life turned around with this. He says he's a new person. He said, Dayan is a big person. They stand online to speak to him. And he has a deep inferiority complex all his life until he heard Mendel. He says he's a new person. Because you're allowed to have self-esteem. You're allowed to believe in yourself. They hit him like a bomb. You're allowed to hold you're a great guy. People, they just don't have it. The way they think is like, you always have to put yourself down. Anyway, so I once got a phone call. So this guy said, he heard me, his whole life turned around. The way he treats people, he's happier. He's a good guy. There's nothing wrong with saying, what I did the other day? I went like this. I said, I happen to be a fantastic person. Me. I'm like a baldige feiner Mensch. Ooh, am I good? I'm a good-hearted person. Oh boy, I'm smart. I'm nice. I'm a big Yerushalayim. Me? Big Yerushalayim. Oh yes. Big Yerushalayim. I'm a Baal Midas. I'm a tzaddik. I'm a real tzaddik. I'm real, you know? You know how many miles I have? It's not normal. I have so many miles. And I work on myself 24/7. I'm so amazing. I'm incredible. I would say I'm one of the tzaddiki ador. If not the. That's my shaila. When I don't sleep good at night, I'm debating, am I the or just one of? That's my shaila. But there's no suffix, it's one of the two. And I can't get over myself. My greatness is beyond. It's such a madrega. What I made of myself. How many people in the world are zeicher to become like me? Rare. Now, I said this over, and everyone's on the floor. I said, why are you guys laughing? What's so funny? I'm serious. Oh, you're really serious? Of course. I go, lie? I only say the truth. This is true stuff. It's true. No, I am. No. What do you mean? I'm just joking around. So I challenged the guys around me. I says, you guys do that for other people? All the time. Everybody. That Yingerman, they talk about others. He's a big master. Oh, he's an Mensch. Oh, I hold a lot from him. Yeah, sure. People do that all the time with others. Why can't you do it to yourself? Why? Are you a stepchild? What's going on here? You know, Rabbi Kreis used to say, I'm also a mother's kid. You know, I'm also somebody, right? Why? Where's the love in doing what I just did now? Where does it say you're not allowed to do that? Where? You know my famous Yalucha Zarvaloi Picha. Say Mashal, the guy says, if they're not praising you, Picha. Say it yourself. What? Zoya Pasha's Bolak. That's right, I heard about that. So Zoya also, yes, man, he knows his stuff. Besides the Mashal, Zoya, what does the Zoya say? Imlai Picha. There you go. It's a Zoya. Zoya, Mashal, I don't know if they don't bring the, but they're all, I find this, but they're all saying it. It's not stomach going somewhere, which is plenty good for me. They say it they're all saying it. That, praise yourself! What's wrong? And do it all day. You know, I challenged my Elam. I says, okay, you guys, you tell me. I became a big speaker now. I'm in a Kilo now. So I'm the Rosh Hamadabram, as usual. Wherever I go, I make sure to take over. So, you know, you think I'm joking, I daven. And I say, Abish, I want to speak. I promise you. Don't tell the guys what happened. It would sound like funny. This is a Kilo that's been going on for years and years. The first year I'm able to join, because the year comes out, I'm able to learn in the morning, you know, instead of teaching. School didn't start yet, so I went to this Kilo. So they already have it. They're locked into he speaks and he did this. They got her on something, I roll in. I says, I just davened that morning. I says, Abish, I would like to speak. Can you please let me speak? That morning, the Rosh Kilo comes over to me, first thing in the morning. I'd like you to speak. Yeah, I want you to speak. Oh, that's so interesting. Now, he still doesn't know. I hope he doesn't see the Torah any time. It was my tefillah. You think that's the only time I did that? I'm going to tell you some more secrets right here. Do you know? Here come all my secrets. I'm an open book. Do you know that in the Rabim get together? You can do the same thing. Rabim get together on once a year. They go to his big hotel, hundreds of Rabim, and they see all the Gilo. From Kamenetsky comes, Reb Malkiel, all the Kosheva, everybody comes. And they speak. Every time there's a different group. I am the most kavua speaker in the place. For the last 10 years, they've all been hearing me. I go from one dining room to another, and I speak. Listen to this one. And I make my jokes, I have my fun. There's like 5 different dining rooms. You know, the first time I came in there, Shmuel Kamenetsky was sitting there, Rav Goldberger from Cleveland, Rav Bresler from Scranton. They're all sitting there. And the first place the guy in charge slept me in, I want you to speak for them. Oh, really? Yeah. All right. I says, I love to drink schnapps. Why? Because then I see two Rishmul Kamenetsky's, two Rav Goldbergers, two Rav Breslers, and I mentioned my Manal too, to Rabbi Gelbach's. I said this Baram. Anyway, so they for years, after a while, they want other people to speak, and I'm a nice guy. I never, but they didn't ask me to speak. And I decided I would like to speak. And I was alone in my room. I says, Eibishter, I think the Elam needs me. I would like to speak. I come in the next morning, and the guy in charge runs over to me. You got to speak. You got to speak. They're all coming over to me. You want to speak. You got to speak. Now, that happened 2 years ago. And this year, as soon as I walked in, you're not speaking. It's not really fair. Who do you think you are? You're the guy, no one else is allowed to speak? You're Balgaivanik. You have to do all the speaking because you're an Novandiga. The whole world has to hear you with your silly jokes. You're the only guy that's allowed to speak. Who do you think about Gaiva with chutzpah? Chutzpah Yazge, that's on me. That's Chazal meant. Shigayim, you're the Mendel. Chutzpah Yazge. Shigayim, you want to hear a good example of Chutzpah Yazge? Here he is, B'chvayde. So anyway, so this year he said, it's over. As soon as I walked in, I was wondering, because he didn't mention anything. I'm never on the stationery, except once I was on a panel. But otherwise, I never saw it. And then he didn't say anything to me. I says, all right, I'll take care of that. And I davened again, I promise you. It's a true story. Eibishter, I would like to speak. Before I turn around, he runs over to me. Mendel, do whatever you want. I says, I can speak. Yeah, go ahead. That's what he told me. He doesn't know. He's being pushed. He better not see that. Now, I want to ask you a question. Ethical question. Is it right what I'm doing by being Mr. Big Shot? Is it right? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, Reb Shnei, I think, used to say, we want Kavod Shemayim, but the Kavod Shemayim should come through me. A person has to have a Saj of Ruach. Yes, no. Me. I want to be the one. When they went into the Kriyas Yamsuf, there was a fight between Bnei Yehuda and Bnei Binyamin. Who's going to make the Kiddush Hashem and split the water? Nachshon. It's all Chazal. Yehuda and Binyamin were fighting. They were cats and dogs. They were killing each other. We want to go first. And Tziv says, a half of the Gazach. Binyamin wanted totally L'malam and Ateva. They wanted helicopter. I don't know what they wanted. Binyamin is he never bowed down to Esav. He was L'malam and Ateva. Sheva Binyamin, when he went to war, Pelegish Begiva, they undertook the 10 Shvatim. One baby Shevet, Binyamin, went to war against the whole Klal. And they were wrong, because Pelegish Begiva happened in their territory. They never gave up those Rishoyim who had done such disgusting things to this Pelegish. And the whole Klal was the Chayiv Misa, we got to do a job on the Shevet Binyamin. They were wrong. They went to war. They won. How'd they win? Because they went with the Eibishter more than everyone else. They never bowed down to Esav. Binyamin never did that. Mordechai is one of them. Mordechai, oh, you're all bowing down for Haman? Not me. I come from my Zayda. Binyamin never bowed down to Esav. We have a different mahalach. We lach. Then it's it brings down. The Sheva Binyamin is a different mahalach. And therefore, when they went to war, there were 700 pea shooters. Not pea shooters, slingshots. What's a slingshot doing? Where's your sword? Where's your spear? Where's your javelin? Where's the shield? Where's the bows and arrows? Slingshots? They were all lefties, which is funny, and they never, ever miss. That's the Malam and Ateva. That's the story of Pelegish Begiva. Sheva Binyamin, the Malam and that's the way they are. So Kriyas Yamsuf says that it's it. They had a whole, we want this to happen completely with no Teva involved. And Yehuda said, we got a different Malam. We have just as much Bטחון as you, but we work with Teva. And he says in learning also they're like that. Sheva Binyamin could say a svara without a raya, And they'll say, bטחון, we got the right shot. That's something. That's it. But Yehuda, no, go horrible. Get yourself a riot before you say it. It's so interesting. Anyway, so Yehuda and Yom are fighting cats and dogs. Who's going to be the one to be Mekadeshim Shemayim? That's something. Anyway, so therefore, don't be afraid of Gaius. Don't be a tzaddik. You got to be a mensch. Stop this mensch business. You know what the mensch business is usually? It's shiftless. You're afraid of the world. You're afraid to do a prat. I'll be honest with you. If I would not have spoken, and I would have said, Mandel, it's time to give someone else a chance. If I would have said that, you know where it really, really, really came from? It's coming from, look, you're shy. Despite all your loudmouth business, you're shy. You know, the same guy told me, who gave me most of today, says, you're a famous guy, but I know the truth about you. It's all a put on. That's something. He says, it's all a facade. You go around like you own the world. It's all baloney. No. Why not? Anyway, but I would be doing it because I'm afraid of people. That's the true reason. Calls by you're afraid of people, go to war against that. But he has to be, no. I'm not such a nice guy. Gradal will tell you, I'm not that bad. In my shul, all my congregants speak in public. And I sit and listen to 25 guys. That's why sometimes I get, I'm joking. But I seriously, in my shul, you want to join me? You're all invited. Come to, hey, you're there, aren't you there? How do you like it when they're all speaking? It's unbelievable. And my chevra, all seasoned speakers, they're not afraid of the world. I broke them in. Come join me. I'll teach you. Stop being afraid of the world. Rabbi Gershon told me, Lech reid. Go speak. I speak at every opportunity. Right now, someone just called me. He wants me to speak in one of these Kaitel morning. I'm going to have to get up 5 a.m. Dad, I'm not so... you sure I need to do that? Oh, yeah, it's not like me, yes, yeah. Oh, I'm probably up 2 hours before that already. Yeah. I'm one of those. You know, I like to, when I speak about, when I say about a chassan, that he's a great guy, I always enjoy saying, this chassan learned till 2 a.m. I saw him myself as I was busy with finishing Prakim over there. I saw my own eyes. So I get sometimes, as I'm trying to, say how great he is, I don't, never forget yourself. Don't forget me, I'm also part of this. I hope every